everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen. I post videos twice a week and today I thought I'd do a foundation review. This is going to be on the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. This is meant to be a hydrating foundation and I am very excited to use it as it is a hydrating foundation and I have very dry skin. It says 12-hour hydration, so that is what I'm going to test. And I am the shade 01 Natural Ivory, I hope. So I am going to get straight into the video. I am going to do primer on this half of my face just to see how it applies and if it lasts longer. And yeah, and this was only $8.99. For my primer today I'm going to use the I Heart Revolution Coconut Dream Hydrating Primer. So I am going to use it on this side of my face. So I'm just going to rub this in with my fingers. This primer smells like coconut as well, which is always really nice. So looking at the packaging, I love the rose gold top, similar to the Dream Urban Cover foundation, and I love this foundation. I am hoping that I am going to love this. And it says it's got hyaluronic acid and collagen inside. Doesn't say what kind of coverage is on the bottle, but I presume it is a medium to full coverage foundation. So I'm just going to dot this around my face. It does feel really nice, like a nice consistency. And then I'm going to use my Revolution foundation brush to blend it in. So I'm going to start blending it in. It does look a little bit dark. But hopefully I can just bronze up my neck. It was really hard to find my shade in this foundation because they were just mixed in with the satin foundation, which looks very similar, and the only difference really is the actual name on the bottle. But oh wow, I actually really like the coverage. So this is what it looks like first layer. I think that it looks really nice. I'm going to turn my lights off a little bit so you can see. But yeah, I really like the coverage so far. I am going to add a little bit more just here and a bit on my forehead. I only did 1.5 pumps, but they were like little ones. So I am going to add a bit more there. Just a bit more on my chin. But so far, I think it's going on really nicely. Look at the difference between my chest and my head. Oh god. Right. So this is what my skin is looking like. It's not clung to any dry patches. I think that on the primer side, it did go on a lot smoother and nicer. And on this side it took a little bit longer just to blend in, but I do think that the coverage is really nice and it is a nice like glowy foundation that does give radiant, hence the name. So normally on my forehead is where I have a lot of dryness, and especially on my nose, so if I just come closer you can see it's not really clung to any dry patches, especially here. And my chin looks very nice, and my forehead does look very glowy, and there doesn't seem to be any dryness so far. I think in between my eyebrows as well is always a very dry place, and no foundation has clung to that area, and I think it is a really nice buildable foundation so far. But I am going to see how it's going to go on with the rest of my makeup, so I am going to apply the rest of my makeup now. I'm just going to do it as a time lapse, but if I see any problems I will stop it and I'll let you know. So I am going to start the wear test now. So it is currently 12 o'clock and I'm going to let it roughly about 9 hours because I don't want to be going to sleep at 12 o'clock at night. So roughly 8 to 9 hours, and I will be doing check-ins, so I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup now. this is my completed makeup look. I think that everything blended in really nicely with the foundation. The bronzer did take a little bit longer on the primer side actually, just to blend in. That might have been because I put too much on or something like that, but it did actually take quite a while to blend out my bronzer. But on the primer side and the non-primer side, I think that they look roughly the same. Apart from application, I think that the dryness isn't really showing anywhere. Just a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose here, but that is very dry. And my chin and my forehead look very nice. And I only put powder under my eyes. I don't really set my foundation. I'm not going to put setting spray on today because I really want to see how the foundation lasts without it. But I think that so far it's a really nice colour. It seems very hydrating. It's not come to that many dry patches, and I think that it gives a really nice radiant glow to your face. So far I am very happy with it. So I am going to check back with you in a few hours. Okay, so it's just been over an hour and a half. As you can see, it's 13:35, and I've had the foundation on for just over an hour and a half now. And I have noticed that on my chin here, it is like flaking off a little bit. And in between my eyebrows here, it is looking a little bit cakey. So maybe if you're applying it with a brush, maybe like watch your eyebrows a bit better. Or if you're using a sponge, make sure you soak up a little bit more foundation around that area, because it is making my eyes look a little bit, my eyebrows look a little bit orange. But so far I think that both sides look really good. I think this side with the primer looks more smooth, and this side still looks really nice and glowy, but I think this looks a bit more radiant than this side. I don't know if it's because of the primer I used, but I do really like this side a lot more than this side. So far I am really happy. So I'm just going to show you what my face looks like. I did forget to mention the foundation comes in 20 shades, and you can find it in Boots and Superdrug. And I think this foundation looks really well so far, but we will see how we get on in a few more hours. Okay, so the foundation's been on for 4 hours now, and it is still looking really nice. And this is the time where my foundation does start to like wear off and show my skin underneath. But apart from my chin and my mouth area, where it is kind of like rubbing off a little bit, on my cheeks and my forehead it still looks very fresh and very smooth. Apart from a little bit here that's wearing off, but I have been lying down. And I think that my nose looks very nice. It doesn't look very dry, well, drier than it normally does. And I am very happy with myself looking still really glowy and radiant. So far I am happy with how it looks after the 4 hour mark, and it is keeping on my bronzer and blusher nicely as well. But so far there's nothing breaking up or breaking apart on my face foundation wise, so far I am very happy. Okay, so we're now at the 8 hour mark, and the foundation is rubbing off a little bit around my nose, and my nose at the top here does feel very dry, though it has been drier. And I think it has kept the majority of my makeup on for the majority of the day really well. I do think it has a really good coverage throughout the day, but like most foundations, it does rub off at the bottom near my jaw and around my mouth, especially when you're eating and stuff. But I do think that it is a very good foundation overall, and it is a very hydrating, glowy foundation. This is definitely one that I do recommend for dry skin. This is a foundation that I do recommend for dry skin, and it is one of the best I've reviewed on my channel. I do think that the colour has stayed on very well, and I do think, I'll just show you some on my face here. So here it has rubbed off a bit and it's looking a bit cakey, and my nose is dry, as you can see, where it's been clinging. You can see my nose is very like pink from my underskin, and it has actually broken me out a little bit on my nose, and my chin is looking quite dry. There we go, and all this bit here has rubbed off. But for 8 hours I think that it is a really nice foundation, especially from the drugstore, and I think the coverage is really good. So that is my review on this foundation. I would recommend putting a hydrating primer underneath it, because this side does feel a lot nicer and has kept a lot longer than this side. A lot more up here has come off compared to this side, so I do recommend a primer. But that is my review, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!